Hello and welcome. Today's seminar is all about word of mouth marketing. What we'll be covering today is why word of mouth matters, how to get yourself ready to do word of mouth referrals for you and your business, and the power that you gain once you start to build a word of mouth engine for your business. What we won't be covering today and will be covered tomorrow in the other seminar is what Alignable does to make this easy. So, why is word of mouth marketing so powerful? Well, let's start with success as a business owner. Where does it come from? It comes from finding, getting, and keeping customers. And what's the number one source of new customers? Well, you kind of guessed it. Word of mouth referrals. We asked 7,400 of our members what the best source of new customers was for them, and 85% said word of mouth referrals. The fascinating thing is that word of mouth referrals is actually the only component of the answers they provided that wasn't an advertising platform. It's a little bit different. And therefore, understanding how it works is super important because you can't just throw money at it to solve the problem. So what is it about word of mouth referrals that makes it so powerful? In a word, trust. Someone has to trust you enough to put their reputation on the line for you and your business in order for word of mouth referrals to happen. That's awesome, right? But as I said, I can't give you $500 and let you go purchase more of that. So the question we have to solve for today is, as a business owner, how do you actually make word of mouth referrals happen? Pretty simple question. Let's get to the answer. Well, I always find when you have a problem like this that you're trying to solve and you can't solve it at the level you're at, it makes sense to break it down one level further. The nice thing about word of mouth marketing and word of mouth referrals is the answer is actually in the makeup of the words itself. We have words, we have mouths, and we have referrals. Words are simply the kind things that you want people to say about you and your business. Whether it's about an event that you're hosting or the skills that you have, those are the things you want shared. Mouths, those are the people who you've built a network of that you've established trust with. And they're now willing, if you share your words with them, to share them with others because they trust you. And referrals is simply the framework or the process that you go through for feeding your mouths with words on a regular basis so that you stay top of mind and you are the one that gets referred to others. Pretty simple, right? Now that you know the components. So, but before you jump into it, you want to ask yourself, are you really ready for word of mouth marketing? Well, the great news is there's a simple checklist to know. The first thing you have to do is make sure that you're providing a great customer experience, both you and any employees that you might have. Because it kind of goes without saying, if you're not doing a great job providing great customer experience and you enable word of mouth marketing, it's going to have a bad effect on your business. So we'll take that as a check and know that everybody out there is actually doing a great job of providing a great customer experience. The next thing is, instead of being willing to invest your money in an advertising platform, you need to be willing to invest your time to build a quality network. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. The third piece of the equation is you have to understand what words you should share with your audience at what level of frequency in order to have the maximum effect. So let's dive into those last two components. Do you have a quality network? Who should be in your network? Most of us naturally gravitate towards our customers first, and that's true. Those folks are an important part of your network. But business owners are actually an even more important piece of the equation. These folks probably already refer you business. If you're a landscaper, you probably get a lot of business from real estate agents. They're already your customers in many cases because small business owners, local business owners love to support other small businesses in the community. They share similar customers, and we'll get into a little bit more of the data around that. And they certainly have knowledge that you can leverage, both by asking questions to them and sharing your expertise. Both of you can benefit. Outside of your network, what are the words that you should be sharing on a regular basis And what's the balance? So I like to break it into two buckets, the why you words and the about you words. The why you words are really demonstrating your expertise. Those are things that you're sharing your knowledge with other people. So when they're talking to someone and, say you're a chef and you share this notion of, here's how to unwind if you put too much salt into a recipe, right? And I run into somebody and I'm talking on a Friday night and we're hanging out and we're talking about, things. And I'm like, hey, did you know that, I know we both like to cook. Did you know that if you put too much salt into a recipe, here's how you unwind it? People are going to be like, oh my gosh, that's great. I never thought of that. Where did you learn that? And that's how word of mouth happens. It's sharing your expertise with others that leaks out through their networks, through just conversations that we have with our friends and our peers. The about you words are things that are happening at your business that people should know about. So, events that you're doing, promotions that you're running, all kinds of things that are specific to your business, but mostly about you. Now, the proper balance of these two is 80% why and 20% about, in my mind. But because remember, the people in your audience already know what you do. You're just trying to trigger them to let them know that you're there and to remind them to tell other people about you. So that's why I really think that the why you to about you balance should be 80-20. Tracy Davis, who's an awesome marketer out in San Jose, has done a great job on the platform of Alignable, sharing her expertise to generate interest. So a couple of things that she does is she's both an expert in social media and email marketing. So she regularly posts discussions and promotions around her areas of interest and expertise. In addition to that, she also shares advice. And in this one case where it's the craziest small business story you've experienced, she actually shares a moment in her career that transformed her business forever in a story that she told about picking up and jumping into a speaking presentation role when someone else fell ill and how it transformed her business. And it's through those stories that you really start to understand what makes Tracy such an incredible resource and someone that you want to turn to. So again, a great example of that why you type of content. The other thing about content is you have to put yourself in the recipient's seat, right? Those are people you're looking to make sure that they look at your content. Wow, this is super interesting, but it's got to be interesting to them, not just to you. So we talked a little bit about industry knowledge, about email marketing for Tracy. There's the upcoming events where you could be talking about VIP events that your best customers are invited to, and they can bring a friend. The other types of information as a local business that's really valuable is to share recommendations. As a real estate agent, the best type of recommendations you can give for restaurants, local specialty retail, hospitality, uh, everything about buying a home, from where to get a mortgage to what lawyers to use, all that kind of information and those recommendations is incredibly powerful to be sharing with other people in your network. You can also share information about suppliers, solutions, and products and services. So, for example, if I'm a cupcake store owner and I just had a great experience with a certain provider of flour, I could tell other cupcake store owners across the country all about my experience and make everybody more knowledgeable. It's sort of a great resource for being able to share content that's valuable to your audience. So now you're ready. You've got those core components of understanding what words you want to share, how to build a network, and how referrals are generated. But that's not it alone. There's a lot of different things that you can do with this network. The powers you've gained by having a word of mouth referral network include the ability to meet other business owners in the community, to get customer referrals flowing in from your network, to generate inbound interest from people that run into the comments and the discussions that you're a part of. You get the opportunity to ask for advice to solve business challenges, and you also can generate an enormous amount of visibility and awareness for your business. In short, The one challenge that most small business owners say they feel every day is isolation and being alone. Well, if you do this right, clearly you're no longer alone. So let's dive into these one by one. The power of proximity. We talked about customers being nearby. Did you know that roughly 80% of a small business's customers come from within 5 miles? Now, whether you're in Manhattan or Wyoming, all that matters is that there's roughly 500 businesses within a radius of you. And it's within that radius, whether it's a quarter mile in Manhattan or 20 miles in Wyoming or 5 miles on average, also reside all the other business owners that share the same customers. So in fact, your best next customer could be next door with another business owner looking for a solution you provide. And only by building a network with them and teaching each other what you have to offer will that referral walk in your door. And having a great connected network with all the people in your community can pay off in a lot of different ways. Whether you're looking for storage, whether you're trying to find, how do I get my sign approved in this town? The answer lies all around you. So there's an enormous amount of power in connecting the people within your community. And that's why on Alignable, when you join, we allow you to connect freely with those people closest to you. The power of demonstrating trust, right? Recommendations are gold. Why? Because they're given by people who you've already established trust with. And it demonstrates to others that, you've built trust within the community and people are already referring you clients. It leads to the best customers and it really helps other people understand the value you provide. So as you start to think about writing recommendations for your clients or for others within your community, you're doing them an enormous service by sharing the details of why you turn to this business, why you refer others their way. Sharing knowledge. Now, there's an enormous amount of power in sharing your expertise with others. We've got Jenny Acalero, who's at Digital Advertising Solutions, who did this really effectively early on in the question and answer forum, where she went in and literally answered anybody's question about marketing. Didn't matter where they were in the country. And lo and behold, after doing this a number of times, her answers were so great that they started getting liked and shared. And the next thing she knew, she had a national presence on the platform where she was actually answering questions for all kinds of businesses. And she ended up having to hire somebody just to deal with the inbound leads that she was getting for new clients through Alignable. Now, clearly an edge case, but she's done a fabulous job. And it's something that anyone can do if they're willing to invest the time to share their knowledge and expertise. We talked about that feeling of being alone or isolated. That goes away when you're connected with a network. You have people you can ask for advice. The people that are closest to you, you can ask for advice and feel comfortable that you're going to get a really trusted answer. If you've got a question about something in the community, you can ask everybody in your community a question, and you'll be amazed how fast and how the quality of the answers that you get from other business owners on the platform. You can also tap thousands of businesses within your industry to ask questions about best practices, suppliers. The most important thing to remember here is you now have the power to get access to the most trusted answers and the answers that you can use to make really informed decisions for you and your business. So in short, we created Alignable for you to be able to harness the raw power of referrals through a word of mouth network that you will build on the platform. And this will enable you to drive greater success for you and your business. So if you'd like to learn more about how to actually do that in Alignable, I invite you to our next seminar where we'll be applying all of the sort of hows and whys that we just covered today in our next session on how to actually do it on the platform and find greater success. Thanks so much and have a great day.